Hello everybody, I'm Tom for Sax Teacher UK. Good morning and welcome to today's video on how to assemble the saxophone mouthpiece. There's a ton of these videos available on the internet, they're really easy to find and I'm sure most of them are really great. The difference with this video is it's geared towards how to teach your child how to assemble the mouthpiece themselves. In my teaching I often find that the best way to start with a beginner student is to show them how to care for and assemble the instrument themselves. It makes them much more self-sufficient in their practice and helps them make progress a lot faster. So have a look at this video, hope you enjoy it. You'll notice there's three components to the mouthpiece once it's assembled: the mouthpiece, the reed and the ligature. The first step is to take the mouthpiece in your less dominant hand. For me that's my left hand. So here we go. And I'm going to take the reed, put it on top like that. So you'll notice you put the flat side here down onto the mouthpiece itself, onto the opening. Okay, and what you're looking for is this line on top. So we need to make sure that the reed and the tip of the mouthpiece is perfectly in line and the sides of the reed line up nicely on the rails. We're going to take the ligature here, bring it around and slide it on top. Now oftentimes on beginner ligatures there's two ends, there's a thicker end and a thinner end, and obviously the thicker end needs to go on first. This is quite a common mistake for children, to put it on upside down. Okay, and you'll need to adjust it slightly to make sure that it fits. Okay, and then what we're looking for is to pull the ligature down onto the thicker part of the reed, and remember that the screws have to be facing you the same direction as the reed itself. Then tighten it up nice and tight. And that's it, ready to go. That's how it should look. Here's another little tip for you. When you're putting the reed onto the mouthpiece, make sure that your child's holding it in place with their thumb of their weaker hand and their index finger and middle finger opposite. That'll really help to keep the reed in balance. And then as you put the ligature on, at this point you want to check again if the reed and the mouthpiece are in line. If they're not, you can adjust them from the middle here, side to side, to make sure it's lining up with the rails, or push up from the bottom. It's really important that you do not push down from the top, because if you touch this thin part of the reed, it's very easy to break it. Now I'm going to show you how not to do it. Here's a few examples of some mouthpiece horror stories I've seen along the years. This is my all-time favourite. I've seen this one many times, and yeah, that's just not going to work. This is the most common one. Number one, you'll notice that the ligature is not on the thickest part of the wood, so it's not going to be able to vibrate properly. And number two, the screws are slightly offset. This is common because it's much easier for them to tighten the screws with it slightly to the side. So you've got to really make sure that the pressure on the reed is coming at the front of the mouthpiece. So that's a very common mistake. Another common one is to have the screws on the opposite side. This is incorrect because the pressure is going to be pressing onto the back of the mouthpiece and not the reed. So it's not going to produce a very good sound when the student is playing. So that's another common mistake. Well, that's all the information you need on how to teach your child how to assemble the saxophone mouthpiece. What I recommend is every single time you put the instrument together to practice, you make sure that your child assembles and disassembles the mouthpiece, and then after a couple of weeks they'll become comfortable, they'll save more time in their lessons, so they'll get more out of their lessons, and they'll just generally be more confident in control of the instrument. So I strongly recommend you work with this video. Over a couple of weeks you'll see that improvement. If you've enjoyed the video today, please hit subscribe, please like the video, or if you have any comments, leave them below. Any queries, send us an email, we'll be happy to help you out. That's it for now. See you soon.